Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. It's your coach again here with Donnie Nolan on Coach's Call on Tap. YouTube on the Discord. Make sure you go to coachescallontap.com. You can scroll down. It'll shoot you links directly here to our YouTube channel, and it'll shoot you to our Discord. You got to come join us on the Discord. Our guys are fixing to go crazy. We got a college game and a pro game. They're going to be betting live, quarters, all that good stuff. Come join us on the Discord. Doesn't cost you anything, but let's get down to the nitty gritty. Guys, you know how big on TikTok that I am, that we are. And I was scrolling through one time and saw these guys, Sharp Systems Sports Betting. And I followed them, and I went to their page, and I looked down. I kept scrolling, and I saw these green marks. And there's some X's in there, but I saw these green marks, some X's, and they're talking about teasers and parlays. Nowhere did I see, hey, go to my website, and I'll charge you, $1,000 for a teaser. I don't know if they're going to do that or not, but I was really intrigued by what they did. And so I started messaging him. So let's just go on. This is Sharp System Sports Betting. George is with us. George, welcome aboard. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking time to talk to us today, George. I really appreciate it. But let's get to it, man. I'm really intrigued. So you guys are basically teasers and parlays, and you're doing a ladder challenge. George, why don't you start by just telling us who you are, how you guys met, how y'all came up with this system, buddy?
Okay. So the guy that we've been doing this system with, I've been betting for probably about 22 years now. And you start out, you're just trying to get the feel of things. Right. And as time went on, you learn more and more as you go on. You learn certain indicators, certain factors, certain things to look for. So it's just been a process over the years to get to the point of doing it seriously. And now we are serious sports bettors that try to leverage our bets so that we minimize our losses. And we do bet straight bets as well. But we do bet a lot of parlays and teasers, and any bets that we put up on our page, we put those bets up, not telling anybody to parlay anything. We put those bets out there as single plays. And if somebody chooses to do a teaser or a parlay, that's their choice. Our unit size currently right now is $50 a unit. That's what we do. I think we're at like 27 or 29.2 units we've won this month. We were up in the 30s, and then we lost some units on some plays over the past week, but still we profited this month a little bit over $1,400. It's $1,460 right now. So nice. I still work a full-time job. He still works a full-time job. And we do this, in our spare time, but we do take it very seriously because we understand, our unit size could be $50, but somebody following our play, their unit size could be $1,000. Right. So we try to make sure that the plays that we put out, we do our research, we do our homework, we look at every single factor and try to be, you try to be perfect on every play, but right. things do happen. Things do happen.
So what would you say your specialty would be, if there is one, or maybe it's the same? Are y'all more of a college guys or pro, or is it just football itself right now?
I would say our main specialty is football. We do basketball as well, but it is mainly football and basketball. Okay. We don't really dibble and dabble in baseball or hockey or anything like that. We stick to what we know and what we feel like we're good at and profitable at. Right. And when basketball season is over, we just take a break. Take a break and just, do our studies in the off season. Yeah.
Smart. Donnie, you got something for George?
Yeah, I mean, taking a break ain't like me. I'm not good at that. I literally bet every sport: soccer, tennis, everything. Wow. I guess the question that I got is, you said you put them all up as singles, but how do you choose which teams you put in your parlays? Like, is there a formula you use, or, some people do return on investment or expected value, EV as we call it. Other people go by feel. I mean, how do you choose which ones you put in your parlay?
Well, we don't really go by EV, or we do look at line movements. That is important. But then, you know, you also have to understand, which I know you guys do, but just for the general public, that Vegas uses perception a lot to influence lines. And you have to be careful and really understand and really do your research and homework to really understand if this matchup is really what the line says it is that Vegas is putting out there, or are they feeding off the perception of past record or the series in the past
Right. Right.
that these two teams have win against each other? But we literally take notes on every game that we're seriously going to play. NFL, we look at every single game. College football, we mainly look at the top 25 matchups. And then if we don't have enough plays that we feel great about, then we'll look to the plays that are not ranked plays. But we have a list of factors, and that's why we call ourselves sharp system sports betting, because we have compiled factors over the years, and every year that list grows and grows and grows. But we don't want to be, you don't want to overthink things as well. But we do have key factors that we feel like are important, whether it is the weather, whether it's home field advantage, whether it's a neutral field. You got a passing team that is outdoors, and it's going to be windy that day. So how's it going to affect that passing team when that's their strength in this matchup? So we make sure that we cross all our T's and dot our I's to make sure that we've covered everything, because we found that, you do your research and you think you have the perfect play. You're like, oh man, this is the play. And then you overlook some key thing, and then it had a big factor in the game that you didn't remember because you didn't have that factor recorded. And you got so many games, so it's easy to overlook things. So just like in the Virginia game, man, we would have had a monster night last week when Virginia played. Man, who did they play?
William and Mary or something, wasn't it?
No, it was the last Virginia game. They played Maryland. It was Maryland.
That's right.
They played Maryland. We had teased Virginia to 21.5 on one of our teasers. And then we had Virginia straight up 14.5 as well. And we had 4 parlays altogether, regular parlays and teasers. And Virginia was in the game. We looked at the previous matchups, and we knew that their starting quarterback was out, and they had the backup quarterback in, but he looked very efficient. 20 for 26, 200 something yards. He threw a couple touchdowns. I think he threw 1 interception, but it looked like Virginia, had lightning in a bottle. It looked like this guy was just going to excel, and the game was really going well. Virginia, I think at the point where it took a turn, it was 21-14. Virginia was driving. I think they was on the 12-yard line and threw an interception. And this was in the third quarter. And at this time, okay, we're still fine. And then he went on to have 4 straight turnovers. And that killed it because Maryland got rolling and they blew him out the water. But for me, I wrote that down because I didn't take into effect seriously enough that the quarterback's inexperience, and for him to have poise in pressure moments.
Right.
And he folded, and then the team folded as well. So, but that's just that part. But go ahead.
So you mentioned just now you had Virginia in like 4 or 5 different things. Do you have, when you do set up your teasers and parlays, do you interchange some of those teams out so that let's say you have like 7 teams you really like, and you split them into, I want to do 4-team teasers or 4-team parlays, and I'm going to take those 7 teams and kind of intermix them in. I know DFS players do that on daily fantasy. They'll have like 5 of their top guys, and then they sprinkle in the other guys to try to maximize their usage. Is that what you're doing with your teasers and parlays, or you just saying, hey, we like these across everything?
We usually don't sprinkle in, I know sometimes, you might mix in some plays that you like as well and say, well, I really like these, and these could turn out to be the play for the night and it could be successful. Usually we stick to our best plays. So whatever our top plays are, we usually stick with that. Now on Saturdays, it's so many games on college football that we just have a lot of games. So like Saturday, for example, I think we went 10-3 overall for the whole day. I'm not sure who I was communicating with on TikTok, but I was messaging them before the game, and
Yeah,
I said,
yeah,
"Hey,
that was me.
these are some plays that I like on our early games."
Right.
That was you, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And I think just on those plays alone, I hit off a couple parlays, or we hit off a couple parlays early, but I think on those plays alone, the only game I think I sent maybe 4 or 5 plays, and I
Yeah.
think the only game I missed was Kansas State money line and Kansas State +4 on the teaser, or 3.5 on the teaser. I can't remember exactly, but and you lose that game on a NCAA, well not NCAA, but I guess their conference record 61-yard field goal.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but it happens.
Yeah.
That's the type of things that happen. You can't control turnovers either. That can blow things out of the way.
So how do you leverage bets? So for instance, we do this fun thing. I actually do bet it. I don't know how many of our guys bet it. They all should bet it because we say we do. But like on NFL, we go down and we do a pick 'em every week. We did it last night. We did our pick 'em show, and we came up. There's 5 of us, and we only put a leg in there if we all agree on it. Okay.
Okay.
So like last night we've got Detroit, KC on the money, Detroit on the money line, KC on the money line, Baltimore on the money line, Jacksonville on the money line, and we got the Bucks plus the points. We all agreed on those 5. Okay. So my question is, if this was y'all's 5-leg parlay, how would you leverage that in order to minimize if it does lose? Let's say we do put $50 on this parlay. What are you doing? What do y'all do, or how do you look at to leverage that if it does lose?
Okay. So what we do consistently every single time we bet, especially every single time we bet parlays. So in y'all case, let's say y'all put $50 on that parlay.
Right.
So then to leverage it, we would do a teaser parlay. So in a teaser parlay, it consists of plays that we really, really like. And we feel like with us teasing that number down, that those plays are, I'm not saying guaranteed,
Right.
but it feels like it feels like it's a lock that those plays should hit. And we're very consistent with doing that. If we miss a teaser parlay, it's usually something really fluky. It's we're very consistent with winning those teaser parlays. Like I lost it, the ladder challenge, for example. We bring the ladder challenge up, and actually bringing the ladder challenge back tonight. I took a week to just clear my mind and then start the ladder challenge over. But the ladder challenge got to, and we'll talk about the ladder challenge. I know that, but we got to day 4. Hit the early parlay, teaser parlay on the ladder challenge. And then I was putting together a parlay for the nighttime. And the game we lost on that was it was Texas, Wyoming over 41.5 points. Now, when we looked at that game, we understand that is a trap game because the next week Texas is starting conference play.
Right.
So that's that in between game where you're like, is Texas really going to be motivated after beating Alabama, their Super Bowl game or whatever? Are they really going to be motivated to come in here and just stomp Wyoming by 30 plus points?
Right.
Okay. And Wyoming defense is not great. And Texas at home. So from us looking at the numbers, I want to say we had Texas winning that game. I want to say we had them winning that game 32 to like 17 or something like that, which is way over 40.5. So we broke down all the numbers, and it was a shock that in the fourth quarter it's 10-10. And I'm saying, Texas, are you going to lose to Wyoming? You just beat Alabama, you're going to lose to Wyoming the very next game?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in disbelief. And I'm watching the game and I'm seeing pick six, 17-10. I think it was a fumble. Then they scored again. Then they had like another run down to the 2. Now it's 30. I want to say it's 31-10. It's 31-10.
Right.
I'm like, all I need is a field goal. It's 4 minutes or something left. And it blows my mind that a couple stops back and forth. Wyman gets the ball at the end. They get all the way down to like the 10 or something like that. They score on a pass play. I'm like, yes, we're there. That's it.
Yeah.
Flag. Offensive pass interference. They call it back. And then they run the ball on 3rd down. And then on 4th down, I'm like, please get the field goal. And they just stand around and let the time run out.
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens. That's the things that can kill your teaser.
I got you. Donnie?
No, I think it's interesting. I've looked at teasers and parlays a lot in my life. I don't do a lot of them. I'll do them if I get free bets because I think there's great value in maximizing a free bet to a, whatever teaser or parlay you want to put on it. But I've seen a lot of systems where they try to say, hey, I don't need to go 63% win percentage. I can go 20%, but if my ROI is so high on a teaser or a parlay, I win. Is that something you guys have looked at, or do you just say, hey, we want to go, 60% overall on straight bets and then teaser and parlay them to maximize even more?
That's about accurate. Yeah, that's a very accurate statement. Like I said, we do straight up plays as well. And I look at it like this, and my partner does as well. When you're looking at all the plays that you like for that day, and let's say on Saturday, we went 10-3. Let's say that we didn't play any parlays, we didn't do no teasers, we just did straight bets across the board, 10-3. That's a phenomenal day. You take those three, you take those 3 losses away from the 10. You're winning money on 7+ games.
Yep,
and I know that the juice is going to affect that a little bit. So, you're probably winning money theoretically or analytically or whatever. You're winning money on probably 6 plays or whatever. When it comes out to the actual money that you're winning. So I mean, yeah, we do look at that as well, but parlays, I look at like, if I can win, if I bet 2 games for the whole day and I did 2 straight bets, if I win one and I lose one, I basically broke even.
Right.
Okay. I probably lost, I actually lost just a little bit of money, but I basically broke even. So I look at it like, if you take those 2 plays and you just parlay them together, because even if you play them separate, you're trying to win both games. If you don't win both games, you lose a little bit of money. If I parlay these 2 together, and I win both like I'm expecting to, then I'm gonna make at least somewhere around 3.5 times the money that I played. So it's a much bigger return when I love my 2 plays anyway. So that is kind of how we look at it. And if you can be consistent with winning your plays, then you're gonna do well with small parlays. I don't really suggest like crazy large parlay. I see some people on TikTok, they got $1 million parlay. They betting every game of the day. I'm like, it's almost impossible. Now, have I hit big parlays? Yes, I have. I hit a 8-team parlay on the college bowl games. The last game I needed was Penn State and Utah. I had the over, and the backup quarterback comes in because Cam Rising gets hurt, and I'm like, I'm doomed. But Penn State kept scoring. The backup quarter for Utah did absolutely nothing the whole game. The last drive, he went there and scored a touchdown. It goes over. I hit an 8-pick parlay. That was crazy. That was crazy. I won like over $6,000.
Holy cow, that's awesome.
Off one parlay.
This is George at Sharp System Sports Betting, guys. Catch him, Sharp System Sports Betting on TikTok. Go visit him. Hey, George, let's talk about this ladder challenge, man. I am very interested in this ladder challenge. Do you do this on single games, teasers, parlays, or do you do the ladder challenge on all of them? And how does it work?
Okay. I do the ladder challenge strictly on teasers because the ladder challenge is so critical that you have to continue to win. If you lose one time, you're done. Whether straight play, parlay, whatever. So you want to kind of leverage yourself and give yourself the best chance to be successful through this ladder challenge. And when you've looked at a lot of ladder challenges and you add up all the plays that they're talking, if they're doing single plays, if they're 10 days, you got to hit 10 straight plays in a row. So it's very difficult. But when you look at leveraging and teasing the parlay for your ladder challenge, it gives you a much better chance to continue the ladder challenge and to finish it. Another way that we do our ladder challenge differently, and our ladder challenge right now is $10 to 25,000. Okay. And the way how we're doing ours is that we break it up. Okay. A lot of times with ladder challenges, at least mostly with what I've seen, if you lose one time, you've lost every bit of money that you've put in, even if you started with $10. But whatever you've gained to, I've seen people get to a couple $1,000s and they lose one play and it's over. It's done. They've lost all their money. So we do ours in stages. The first stage is 4 days. The second stage is 4 days. The last stage is 3 days. I'm sorry, the third stage is 3 days and the last stage is 2 days. We do it like that to where you only have to get through the stages. And every time you get through a stage, you are keeping some profit with you to where if something happens and you have to start over, you don't have to go back into your bank account and take more money and put in. You are keeping profit from each stage. So last time we were doing the teaser parlay with 3 picks on the teaser. This time we're going to simplify it even more. We're going to do 2 pick teasers plus 6 points, whether it's 6 points or either to the over under for the score. We're going to do only 6 points. Now, when you do that, you're not quite doubling your money, okay? But you're still going to get to the same result. The first stage, when you finish the first stage in the original one, you would have been at 160. So you would have kept 100 to go towards the next stage of the ladder challenge, and 60 would have been profit for you, just in case something happened, or just profit strictly. With this ladder challenge, when you finish the first stage, you'll have like $104. So you're still at your 100, but you have $4. That's just extra. Okay.
Right.
After you finish the second stage, you'll have a couple $100 profit to recoup and then move forward with the ladder challenge for the next 4 days. And then, like I said, we broke it up like that because it's a whole lot easier to finish 4 days. And then if something happens, okay, cool, I can start back with 10. Or if I finish 8 days and something happens, I don't have to start all the way over because I have $200 profit that I set aside.
Right.
So I can decide, okay, we're not going to go all the way back to, day one. Let's go back. Let's go to day 5 and just take 100 and start from there. So, because things happen. So,
well, the thing is also for you people listening, he said $10 bet, and then he says saying you take 200 off, you take 200 out for your profit. If you're just betting $10, that's going to take you 20. You're going to need 20 wins, right, to win the $200. We're doing this. The challenge is it's just a 4-day challenge on $10. Okay, the ROI is good, the EV is good. It's just a good way to do it. The difference is, and this is why we have George and his partner here at Sharp System Sports Betting, is they know how to pick these games. They know how to pick these teasers. That's why we've got him here, because we're picking his brain on how to do this. Let me ask you this. I know it's busy. We're getting late, and these games are fixing to start here. But I've got a buddy that has a teaser tonight. He likes it. I kind of like it. Donnie doesn't like it. But let's just take this pro game, okay? The San Francisco game, okay? We're gonna tease it. We're gonna tease it 7 points. So he's got. We're gonna go San Francisco minus 7.5, and under. What is it? Under the 50. Okay.
Under. So y'all are going under. Okay.
Yeah, y'all no. Y'all nothing. He is. Donnie, hit your mic. No. Yeah, it's prime time. Donnie, I still can't hear you.
He teased it under. Sorry.
Yeah. He teased it under. So he's got San Francisco minus the 4.5, which I love. I love that. I love the San Francisco. Yes, no problem. The under the 50 though. I don't know. I just think in a primetime game, if you go down into the 30s, I feel better with betting an over under the 30. I don't know. What do you think about that? I know I'm just throwing this out at you. I don't even know if you've looked at this game. What do you think about
I've already bet
this?
it.
Have you really?
Yeah. I've already bet it for tonight. I've already put all my bets in tonight.
Oh, okay. I mean, would you mind sharing that one bet with us?
Oh, no, not at all. So I actually took San Francisco minus 6.5 because I feel very comfortable that they should win this game by at least a touchdown. The Giants have not looked good this season. And I know that last week, Danny Dimes somehow found out that he has 2 legs and that his offensive line is not very good. And if you're going to make something happen, you're going to have to get on the move, use your legs to pick up first downs, use your legs to get space to where you can be able to pass the ball. And he finally figured it out in the second half. And I was like, oh my goodness, because that was one of my plays. I had Giants. I can't remember the exact bet, but I had the Giants and they end up covering, the miraculous comeback. But yeah, so I feel that the world is going to feel like San Francisco is just going to come in. They're going to stampede the Giants tonight. It's just going to be, just ugly.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily feel like that. I feel like it's a short week, and I feel like the Giants have some confidence. I feel like they have more of a offensive understanding of who they are as a team, that the offensive line is not very good. They lost a key offensive lineman last week. So I feel like they're going to get the quarterback on the move, and they're going to pass quickly to the flats. They're probably going to try to run some screens, try to take advantage of San Francisco's, aggressiveness with Bosa and everybody chasing, the passer and trying to get to the quarterback. But I took San Francisco minus 6.5. I still feel comfortable with them winning by a touchdown. Originally, when I looked at the game, and this is another thing I do, I look at all the games that I'm looking at before looking at the point spread. I just cover up the point spread. I look at the matchup. I look at the previous games, the injuries and everything. And I try to figure out what that score would be for that game.
Set your own lines.
Game. Yeah, I set my own line because I am the public.
Exactly.
And Vegas pays people millions of dollars to get all of this information. They know if Patrick Mahomes' pet dog died and he's really down about it, so they know all of this information that we don't have access to.
Exactly.
And what I always say is that you have to figure out when Vegas sets that line, are they telling the truth? Are they lying? Or are they just wrong? And I try to ask myself that question when I look at a line. But for that San Francisco game, I had to score when I looked at it, before looking at the line, I had to score 35-13. That's what I had to score, which is minus 22. Then when I saw the line was minus 10.5, I'm like, okay. It's a lot less than what I thought. I didn't think it would be 21 points, but I was thinking somewhere around 2 touchdowns. So it was less than what I thought. So I'm like, okay, I think the Giants, Vegas is figuring the Giants have a chance to cover this line because, of course, Vegas wants to win the majority of the bets, and they figure that people want to bet on San Francisco. That's what people want to do. So they want to catch you with the spread if they can. Right. So 10.5, I'm thinking, it could be a 10-point game, but I feel comfortable at 7, and it could be worse. It definitely could be worse.
Yeah. What do you think about the total when you're teasing it?
The total, I actually took the over, and I teased it down to, I teased it down to 36.5. No, I teased it on the 36.5. Yeah.
I got
I
you.
was comfortable. I was comfortable with 36.5. I could see a 30-7 game. I could see the Giants scoring a little. I do not see the Giants keeping San Francisco from scoring at least 30 points or very close to it. I just cannot see that happening. So, and I feel more comfortable with the Giants offense to bet the over from what I saw from them last week. That should give them a lot of confidence. And I think that they'll come out and do some good things.
I got you. I got you. Well, George, I appreciate you being on, man. I hope to have you here more often, man. This is great information. We love talking ball like this and everything.
Yes,
Donnie, you got anything to say before we close out?
I do. I got a question for you. I'm going to give you a scenario. There's some college games coming up, and there's a lot of hype over 2 games. Oregon minus 21 at Colorado, and LSU minus 17.
Put his feet to the fire, Donnie.
If you were going to take those games, would you parlay them or would you tease them, and which side would you take?
I have looked at both of those games already.
I'm sure you have.
And I have the score. I have honestly. I mean, I know Colorado is a feel-good story, and not only a feel-good story. Coach Sanders is doing a phenomenal job.
It is a great story. Yes.
Yeah, he's doing a phenomenal job. Honestly, I didn't think they was going to beat TCU. I did not think that, and he shocked me with that one. And I didn't. But see, beginning of the season, you don't know how good teams are going to be. And I know TCU lost some people. But for the Oregon game, I actually had to score 45-20 Oregon, which is minus 25. So, and then when I saw that, because originally when I thought in my head, I'm like, okay. I'm thinking Vegas is going to set the spread about minus 13 because I think they want to tempt the public to say, man, Colorado might lose, but I don't think they'll lose by 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And so when I looked at the spread and I did my numbers and I said, well, man, I'm coming up with 45-20. And I actually saw the spread was minus 21. I said, man, I think it's going to be very ugly for Colorado. So, and the thing about Colorado is, yes, they have some skilled players. They have Jimmy Horn Jr. They have the quarterback that is an excellent quarterback. He's phenomenal. He's great. Yeah. And they have Travis Hunter, who's out for 3 weeks. But Oregon is a different type of monster. And we can already see where Colorado they have weaknesses on the O-line and D-line to start the season. They just don't have the talent there to compete with big schools. Yeah. And Oregon has monsters on their offensive line and defensive line. And I think it's going to be, and we saw it in Nebraska, where Colorado struggled to score until turnovers facilitated and got the momentum going. And Nebraska really kind of collapsed. We saw it in Colorado State, where Colorado State was moving the ball up and down the field and they almost lost that game. But Oregon, this is going to be a problem. And I think without Travis Hunter, and even if he was there, I do not see this game being close. So I like Oregon to cover the points in that game.
You like the total? You like the total or not? At 70. I know you had it at 45-20 at 65.
Yeah. If I was to take that, honestly, if I was playing straight up, I would take the under. Everybody's gonna think, man, they're gonna blow this out the house. Yeah. I don't think Colorado's gonna score enough points for it to go. If it goes under, it's going to be because of Colorado, not Oregon. Oregon is gonna score 40 plus points. Okay. 40 plus points.
I love that.
And I'm being generous with giving Colorado 20 points, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I hear you. Donnie, what's the other one?
The LSU minus 17.
Okay, LSU minus 17. With LSU, they lost. And do I have this? Oh, yeah, I know I do. Let me check my notes out real quick.
If I tell you what, let's not go LSU. Let's go with everybody's favorite, Alabama minus 6 at all.
Alabama.
Everybody loves Alabama.
The great and mighty Alabama Roll Tide.
Well, first of all, George, before you start there, where are you located?
I'm in North Carolina.
Okay, you're Tristan's area. Yeah. All right, go ahead, George. Talk to us about Bama and Ole Miss.
Okay, so Bama and Ole Miss, by our calculations, looking at everything, we had Alabama winning this game 26 to 20. So that would be -6. When we looked at the spread, it was -6.5. Excuse me. So that lined up exactly where it was supposed to be. Alabama they don't really have a solid quarterback, and that is a big issue for them. I like Jalen Moreau. He's strong. He's physical. He can run the ball, but he's not accurate with seeing the openings when receivers are coming up. He's not accurate with seeing the windows,
Yeah.
and that's his problem. He's very inaccurate with throwing those passes. If somebody's wide open, yeah, he can get him the ball. But other than that, he really, really struggles. So I think Alabama's going to have a very hard time this year if they do not adjust to what their identity should be this year, which is run behind those 350 plus pound offensive linemen that you have a huge offensive line, pound the ball, play defense, punt, play smart. That is really their best key to winning this year. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a grinded out type of game. And then going to Ole Miss. I'm not really that high on Dart, the quarterback for Ole Miss. I feel like he is a product of the system there. I've seen him struggle just too many times with complex defenses, and I feel like Alabama definitely has a complex defense that can hide coverages, whether it's man to zone and make it look like one thing and then it's something else. So I feel like in this game, he's going to turn the ball over. Alabama should get back to the identity. I know they played pretty poor last week. That was pretty bad, but I know they was trying to figure out a quarterback. So I just kind of throw it out the window. But in that game right there, it's really a tough one. If I probably won't play that game,
Right.
but if I was to play that game, I would just do Alabama money line. I do Alabama money line.
All right.
I got you. All right, before we go, I got to ask.
Ole Miss over here, so we're on the opposite side.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good, man. That's why we got you on here.
But no, I mean, because like I said, the point spread at 6, I can see teasing that up to Ole Miss and maybe give them 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I don't see Alabama beating them by, definitely not more than 2 touchdowns, but you could even, give them 10.5 just to be on the safe side. 10.5 is fair.
Yeah. Well, we can tease Ole Miss to 13 and a half and Oregon down to 14 and there's our teaser right there. Huh?
I love it.
Hey,
I love it.
There's a shot. Before we go, George, I gotta ask this. I am a huge Aggie. You see it on my wall. My money still goes there. I'm gonna be at the game Saturday, 11 o'clock, man. It's an 11 o'clock game. We are favored. Auburn's coming into town. You think we got a shot at beating Auburn? Honestly, you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
No. I do think you have a shot at beating Auburn. Texas A&M has the most talent in this past recruiting class out of any school. And there is no reason why they should not be more consistently playing at an elite level. Yeah. I feel like where y'all fall short a lot of times is the leadership and command from the quarterback position, honestly. I love Jimbo. I think he's a great coach. But I do not feel like all the time that he develops or his system develops quarterbacks to where the quarterback is an extension of the coach on the field.
Right.
And I feel like there's some type of disconnect there. Yeah. And I know he's had Kellen Mond and he was a good quarterback.
Jameis Winston was his last one.
Jameis Winston, yeah. That team right there was unbelievable. If you go back to that team's roster, I don't know how many NFL players, and I've seen them play. I saw them play live in the ACC championship game and everything. They might have had 12, 13 NFL players on that team. Yeah. It was ridiculous. Yeah. It was ridiculous. So, but yeah, I think that they're falling short because of that. But I do like Texas A&M. Just looking at that game, I do like Texas A&M to beat Auburn. But I think I actually wrote it down. Hold on one second.
You'd be the only one. Everybody else on my team hates A&M. So
Really?
they give me hell every week. Every chance they get. My Discord gives me hell on my freaking Aggies. Every chance we get. But
yeah, I mean, they're probably wondering like why, why y'all struggling so bad. But yeah, I actually have y'all winning 23-20.
All
so
right.
I have it a close game, but I have y'all winning 23-20.
All right. Well, George, I appreciate you being on. Donnie, thanks again, man, for helping out here. George, it's amazing. Guys, you need to go to TikTok, Sharp System Sports Betting. Go like and follow these guys. They're doing some cool things. I really want to have you on here more, George. I love this kind of talk. You got some great information. You're more than welcome anytime. You guys make sure to follow us on Coach's Call 0 on TikTok. Hit the link in the bio. Go to the Discord, or you can go to coachescallontap.com. We've got a website up, and we've got links to this YouTube channel and our Discord. Come follow us. Follow George and his team, Sharp System Sports Betting. I appreciate you guys. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody wins some money this weekend. We'll be back with you shortly. Until then, man, I hope all your tickets cash. George, thank you very much. Donnie, we'll talk to you later. Adios, everybody.
See you guys.